Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासुदेव गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासुदेव गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासुदेव गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, dear devotee. So today is Wednesday. It is 11th of December. It is Margasesha Masa or Keshava Masa, Shukla Paksham, and Ekadasi today. So today it is the Moksha Ekadasi and also Gita Jayanti. So on this day, so all auspicious day on which Lord Shri Krishna spoke the Srimad Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra at the place now known as Jyotisha Tirtha. So anyone who gives a Bhagavad Gita away to deserving person on this day is bestowed profuse blessings by the Shri Krishna Bhagavan. So the ancient story of Moksha Ekadasi from the Brahmanda Purana goes like this. From this condizati.com. So Yudhishthira Maharaja said, O Vishnu, master of all, O delight of the three worlds, O Lord of the entire universe, O creator of the world, O oldest personality, O best of all beings, I offer my most respectful obeisances unto you. O Lord of Lords, for the benefit of all living entities, kindly answer some questions that I have. What is the name of Ekadasi that occurs during the light fortnight of the month of Margasisha and removes all sins? How does one observe it properly, and which deity is worshipped on the holiest of days? O my Lord, please explain this to me in full. So Lord Sri Krishna replied, O dear Yudhishthira, your inquiry is very auspicious in itself and will bring you fame, just as I previously explained to you about the dearest Utpanna Mahadvadasi, which occurs during the dark part of the month of Margasisha, which is the day when Ekadasi Devi appeared from my body to kill the demon Mura, and which benefits everything animate and inanimate in the three worlds. So I shall now relate to you regarding this Ekadasi that occurs during the light part of the month of Margasisha. This Ekadasi is famous as Mokshada because it purifies the faithful devotee of all sinful reactions and bestows liberation upon him. The worshipable deity of this auspicious day is Lord Damodara. With full attention, one should worship him with incense, a ghee lamp, fragrant flowers, and tulsi manjaris or buds. O best of saintly kings, please listen as I narrate to you the ancient and auspicious history of this wonderful Ekadasi. Simply by hearing this history, one can attain the merit earned by performing a horse sacrifice. By the influence of this merit, one's forefathers, mothers, sons, and other relatives who have gone to hell can turn around and go to the heavenly kingdom. For this reason alone, O king, you should listen with rapt attention to this narration. There once was beautiful city named Champakanagar, which was decorated with devoted Vaishnavas, that the best of the saintly kings Maharaja Vaikanasa ruled over his subjects as if they were his very own dear sons and daughters. The Brahmins in that capital city were all expert in four kinds of Vedic knowledge. The king, while ruling properly, had a dream one night in which his father was seen to be suffering the pangs of hellish torture in one of the hellish planets ruled over by the Emerald. The king was overwhelmed with compassion for his father and shed tears. The next morning, Maharaja Vaikanasa described what he had seen in his dream to his council of twice born learned Brahmins. O Brahmins, the king addressed them. In a dream last night, I saw my father suffering on a hellish planet. He was crying out in anguish, O my son, please deliver me from this torment of this hellish condition. Now I have no peace in my mind, and even this beautiful kingdom has become unbearable to me. Not even my horses, elephants, and chariots, and my vast wealth in my treasury that formerly brought so much pleasure gives me no pleasure at all. Everything, O best of Brahmins, even my own wife and sons, have become a source of unhappiness since I beheld my father suffering the torture of that hellish condition so. Where can I go? And what can I do, O Brahmins, so alleviate this misery? My body is burning with fear and sorrow. Please tell me what kind of charity, what mode of fasting, what austerity, or what deep meditation, and in service upon which deity I may have to perform to deliver my father from that agony and bestow upon liberation upon my forefathers. O best among Brahmins, what is the use of one's being a powerful son if one's father must suffer on a hellish planet? Truly, such a son's life is utterly useless to him and to his forefathers. The twice born Brahmins replied, O king, in the mountains forest not far from here is the ashram where a great saint Parvatamuni resides. Please go to him, for he is a Trikala Dhyani. He knows the past and present and future of everything and can surely help you in your gaining relief from your misery. Upon hearing this advice, the distressed king immediately set out on a journey to the ashram of the famous sage Parvatamuni. The ashram was indeed very big and housed many learned sages, expert chanting the sacred hymns of the four Vedas, Rug, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva. Approaching the holy ashram, the king beheld Parvatamuni seated among the assembly of sages, adorned with hundreds of tilaks from all the authorized sampradayas, like another hmm, Brahma or Vyas. Maharaja Vaikanasa offered his humble obeisances to the Muni, bowing his head and then prostrating his entire body before him. After the king had seated himself among the assembly of Parvatamuni, asked him about the welfare of the seven limbs of his extensive kingdom, his ministers, his treasury, his military forces, his allies, the Brahmin sacrificial offerings performed, and the needs of his subjects. The Muni also asked him if the kingdom was free of troubles and whether everyone was peaceful, happy, and satisfied. To these inquiries, the king replied, By your mercy, O glorious and great sage, all seven limbs of my kingdom are doing very well. Yet there is a problem that was recently arisen, and to solve it, I have come to you, O Brahmana, for your expert help and guidance. Then Parvata Muni, the best of all sages, closed his eyes and meditated on the king's past, present, and future. After a few moments, he opened his eyes and said, Your father is suffering the results of committing a great sin, and I have discovered what it is. In his previous life, he quarreled with his wife and forcibly enjoyed her sexually during her menstrual period. She tried to protest and resist his advances and even yelled out, Someone please save me. Please, oh husband, do not interrupt my monthly period in this way. Still, he did not stop or leave her alone. It is on account of this grievous sin that your father now has fallen into such a hellish condition of suffering. King Vaikanasa then said, O greatest among sages, by what process of fasting or charity may I liberate my dear father from such a condition? Please tell me how can I relieve and remove the burden of his sinful reactions, which are a great obstacle to his progress towards ultimate release or salvation or liberation going back home. Parvata Muni replied, During light fortnight of the month of Margasisha, there occurs Ekadasi called Mokshada. If you observe the sacred Ekadasi strictly with full fast and and give directly to your suffering father the merit you thus obtain, he will be freed from his pain and instantly liberated. Hearing this, Maharaja Vaikanasa profusely thanked the great sage and then returned to his palace to perform his vrata or austere rite. O Yudhishthira, when the late part of the month of Margasesha at last arrived, Maharaja Vaikanasa faithfully waited for the Ekadasi Tithi to arrive. He then perfectly and with full faith observed the Ekadasi fast with his wife, children, and other relatives. He dutifully gave me merit from this fast to his father. He dutifully gave the merit from this fast to his father. As he made the offering, beautiful flower petals showered down from the devas who peered out from the behind the clouds in the sky. The king's father was then praised by the messengers of demigods or devas and escorted to the celestial region. As he passed his son, As he traversed the lower to middle to higher planets, the father said to king, "My dear son, all auspiciousness unto you." At last he reached the heavenly realm from where he can gain with his newly acquired merit perform devotional service to Krishna or Vishnu and in due course return back to home, back to Godhead. O son of Pandu, whosoever strictly observes the sacred Moksha the Ekadasi following the established rules and regulations achieves full and perfect liberation after death. There is no better fasting day than this Ekadasi of the light fortnight of the month of Margasisha. O Yudhishthira, for it is a crystal clear and sinless day. Whoever faithfully observes this Ekadasi fast, which is like Chintamani, a gem that yields all desires, obtains special merit that is very hard to calculate. For this day can elevate one from hellish life to the heavenly planets. And for one who observes this Ekadasi for his own spiritual benefit, this elevates one to go back to Godhead, never return to this material world. Thus, in the narration of the glories of Margasesha Sukla Ekadasi or Mokshada Ekadasi from the Brahmanda Purana. Mokshada Ekadasi ki jai. That is from the event's perspective. So today Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. So Arjuna inquired all about his um, so many questions on this day. And everyone knows about the Bhagavad Gita at the end. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam raja. So likewise, Krishna says to Arjuna. And finally, after hearing Bhagavad Gita, etechasi tata kuru. Then Arjuna says, Karishye vachanam tava. I do whatever exactly you have instructed me. So likewise, Arjuna accepted and he has lived life like that. Okay, that is the day of Moksha, the Ekadasi, and also Gita Jayanti. Okay, so we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, again the Supreme Personality of Godhead speaking to Brahma about himself. So, Jnanam Paramaguhyami Yed Vijnan Samanvitam Sa Rahasyam Tadangam Cha Gruhana Galitam Maya Yavaraham Yata Bhavo Yedrupa Gunakarmakaha Tataiva Tattva Vijnanam Astute Mad Anugrahat. So, Lord Brahma, O Brahma, so I am giving you all the this confidential and secret knowledge unto you. Please listen and carefully take it very carefully. And all the secrets of my pastimes will be revealed unto you by my mercy. So likewise, after saying that, the first statement about Brahma's inquiry, the Lord has answered. Aham eva sameva grednan yad yad sad asad param paschadaham yedetaccha yo avashishyeta sosmyaham. So I am the only existed before and after and the annihilation of the creation. O Brahma. Likewise, the Lord said the first Chatishloki Bhagavata. So today, second sloka, he is speaking to Brahma that anything which is existing and but though which is perfectly, but it is not in connecting with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It needs to be understood that it is in the mode of, it is the illusory energy of the Lord. Though it is the beautiful, but it is not connecting to the Lord in any way. That is the illusory energy of the Lord. It is in the reflection which appears in the darkness. Okay, likewise, everything which has in connection with Krishna or Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu or Narayana, that has the value. Anything else which is in the darkness. Likewise, the Lord is saying. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9, verse number 34. This is also a verse to be remembered. I request dear devotees, so kindly try to remember this verse as well. All the shlokas from the 31 to 37 verses. ऋतेऽर्धं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्याद् आत्मनो मायां यथा भासो यथा तमः ऋतेऽर्धं यत् प्रतीयेत ऋतेऽर्धं so without any value ऋतेऽर्धं without any value yat pratiyeta which that appears to be na pratiyeta chatmani na pratiyeta chatmani so na pratiyeta is the na pratiyeta means not appears to be and chatmani in relation to me so which is anything which is existing without in relation to the supreme personality of godhead that has no value ऋत्याद्यं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यात् आत्मनो मायं so know that tadvidyat you must know that tadvidyat atmano mayam it is my illusory energy yata abhaso yata tamaha abhasa is the reflection yata abhasa yata tamaha in the darkness so you know that it is anything which doesn't connect to me it is kind of a perverted reflection or in the mode of darkness likewise the Lord is saying to Brahma द्वितीयार्धं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्यादात्मनो मायं यथा अभासो यथा तमः So translation for this verse. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. And purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is again long purport, so we shall cover 2 paragraphs today. So can I request Asha Mataji first paragraph and then Usha Mataji second paragraph, please.
In the previous verse, it has already been concluded that in any stage of the cosmic manifestation, its appearance, its sustenance, its growth, its interactions of different energies, its deterioration, and its disappearance, all has its basic relation with the existence of the personality of Godhead. And as such, whenever there is forgetfulness of this prime relation with the Lord, and whenever things are accepted as real without being related to the Lord, the conception is called a product of the illusory energy of the Lord. Because nothing can exist without the Lord, it should be known the that the illusory energy is also an energy of the Lord. The right conclusion of devoteeing everything in relationship with the Lord is called Yoga Maya, or the energy of union. And the wrong conception of detaching a thing from its relationship with the Lord is called Lord's Devi Maya or Mahamaya. Both Mayas also have connection with the Lord because nothing can exist without being related to Him. As such, the wrong conception of detaching relationship from the Lord is not false, but illusory. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Usha Mataji, please.
Misconceiving one thing for another thing is called illusion. For example, accepting rope as a snake is illusion, but the rope is not false. The rope as it exists in the front of the illusion person is not at all false, but the exception is illusory. Therefore, the wrong conception of accepting this material manifestation as being divorced from the energy of the Lord is illusion, but it is not false. And this illusory conception is called the reflection of the reality in the darkness of ignorance. Anything that appears as apparently not being produced out of my energy is called Maya. The conception that the living entity is formless or that the Supreme Lord is formless is also illusion. In the Bhagavad Gita 2.12, it was said by the Lord in the midst of the battlefield that the warriors standing in front of Arjuna, Arjuna himself, and even the Lord had all existed before they were existing on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and they would all continue to be uh, individual personality in the future also, even after the annihilation of the personal body and even after being liberated from the bondage of material existence. In all circumstances, the Lord and the living entities are individual personalities, and the personal features of both the Lord and living being are never abolished. Only the influence of the illusory energy, the reflection of light in the darkness, can, by the mercy of the Lord, be removed. In the material world, the light of the sun is also not independent, nor is that of the moon. The real source of light is the Brahma Jyoti, which diffuses light from the transcendental body of the Lord, and the same light is reflected in varieties of light. The light of the sun, the light of the moon, the light of fire, or the light of electricity. So the identity of the self as being unconnected with the Supreme Self, the Lord, is also illusion, and the false claim, I am the Supreme, is the last illusory snare of the same Maya, or the external energy of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here in this particular Prabhupada is describing about the different energies of the Lord. So its sustenance, its growth, its interactions of different energies, its deteriorations and its disappearance, all has its basic relation with the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when Brahma, so he mentions like the Yo Aham Cha. So myself and Lord Shankara and yourself, we are all three different branches coming from, in his praise, this to Garbhodak Sai Vishnu. So only one source is the Garbhodak Sai Vishnu within this universe, and all connecting to the Supreme Lord. But which is appearing to be not connecting to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is the illusory energy of the Lord. So all its basic relation with the existence of the Supreme Personality of God. And as such, whenever there is forgetfulness of this prime relation with the Lord, and whenever things are accepted a real without being related to the Lord, that conception is called product of the illusory energy of the Lord. This is the conception. But actually, in fact, everything is in connecting with the Supreme Lord only. But which appears that it is not connected to the Supreme Lord. It is the illusory energy of the Lord. We are seeing that in this western side of the world, many people, they do not know what is the real aim of life. And but see, that is actually in darkness. So Prabhupada describes that two kinds of different kinds of illusory energy works. One is the throwing illusory energy and covering illusory energy. Though people, they appear to be nearer to the temples and God and nearer to the all scriptures, but they don't take it. They don't take that knowledge, and but still they engage in the karmic activities, sense gratificatory things. That is the covering illusory energy. And then other side of is the throwing illusory energy. People, if they know it, they may come to Krishna consciousness, but they are thrown very far away from the Lord into western side or so many darkest regions of this world. That is the product of illusory energies. Because nothing can exist without the Lord, and it should be known that the illusory energy is also energy of the Lord. This is Yasmin Yada Pushkarinabhamaya Dhurantaya Spushtadaya Pradugdrushyaha. In people, they engage in different activities just because of the illusory energy of the Lord. What is the need of all of these economic problems and all these things? It is just an illusion. They do not have any connection with the Lord. The real economic problem, it is with the cows and the farming. This is grow our own food, grow our own cotton and make the clothes. So this is our real problems, and get your own milk from the cows. That is the real thing, and everything in dovetailing with Krishna consciousness, Krishna. So the right conclusion of dovetailing everything in relationship with the Lord is called Yoga Maya. It is connecting with the Supreme Lord. As simple as that. So this is the Varnashrama Dharma. Everyone are going towards only one single point of objective. That is Yoga Maya, or the energy of the union. And the wrong conceptions of detaching a thing from the relationship with the Lord is called Lord's Daivi Maya or Mahamaya. So we may think that, okay, this foreign country is very nice and it is very pleasing, very cool, there is so much of money. This is actually the Maya. It is making us to separate from the Varnashrama Dharma. So that means we are already fall into that trap of illusory energy. And whatever is happening, which is not connecting to the Supreme Lord, everything is like that. And the people are fighting for the land, that is illusory energy. People are fighting for the uh, sovereignty of the country, that is also illusory energy of the Lord. But there are some fights are happening in connecting with the Krishna, that is not any illusion. There is a meaning for it. That is are based on the religious fights, religious battles like the Kurukshetra, and some things are also going on the keeping Krishna in the center, going for the fight. It has the meaning. And then further Prabhupada says the both Mayas also have connections with the Lord because nothing can exist without being related to Him. So here again Maya is the Mahamaya, and the Lord He never come in contact with the Mahamaya. So, and also Maya works directly under the Krishna. Daivihi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. That is also Lord's Maya. Lord's Maya is also in the for the peoples, it is kind of the woman's body, as Kapil Bhagavan explains. In the Brahma Samhita, एवं ज्योतिर्मयो देवः सदानन्दं परात्परः आत्मारामस्तस्यास्ति प्रकृत्या न सगामग न sagama samagamaha. He never come in contact with the Mahamaya. So that Maya Ramamanasya Navyoga Saha Atmana Ramya Remi Tyaktakalum Sisukshaya. So because though he is not directly in contact with Mahamaya, but at the same time he is not disconnected from the Mahamaya as well. So keeping Lakshmi Devi, goddess of fortune, Niti Sa Rama Devi Tat Priya Tad Vasham Tada. So he keeps Rama Devi Tad Vasham, Tat Priya Tad Vasham Tada. So Rama Devi is very pleasing to the Lord. Nitihi Sa Rama Devi Tat Priya Tad Vasham Tada. And then her shadow is the Mahamaya. And she will carry out Tallingam Bhagavan Simbhu Jyoti Rupaha Sanatanaha Ya Yonihi Sapara Siktihi Kamo Bijam Mahadharehe. So that through Lord Shankara and Mahamaya, so they will carry out these the um, activities in this material world. So that's why we generally call Parvati Parameshwara as the first divine couple in this universe. Okay, so as such, wrong conception of detaching relationship from the Lord is not false, but illusory. This is just illusory. Yatha bhaso, yatha tamaha. But there is always connection. And then misconceiving one thing for another thing is called illusion. For example, accepting a rope as a snake is illusion, but the rope is not false. Rope is also exists in the form of the illusion person. Is not at all false, but acceptance is illusory. So generally, this conception is used in many people, different sampradayas. But here, existence of the rope is not false. It is, but only whoever is considering it in the darkness, in the dark or in the night time, he may be thinking that rope may be the snake. That is only illusion because he does not have a light or he is not aware of that about the rope. That acceptance is illusory. Therefore, the wrong conception of accepting this material manifestation is as being divorced from the energy of the Lord is illusion, but it is not false. So the Lord says that dukkhalayam ashashvatam, but it is the misery. This world is the temporary and also place of miseries, but it is not illusion. And this illusory conception is called reflection of the reality in the darkness of ignorance. And also, Prabhupada later explains, appears as anything that appears as apparently not being produced out of my energy is called Maya. That is the Maya. And the conception that the living entity formless or the Supreme Lord is formless is also illusion. And also again, Natvevaham jatunasam natvam nemi janadipaha. So navayam na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamataha param. So we also exist now, we are existed in the past, we will also exist in the future. So as a two different entities. Likewise, Krishna says to Arjuna, it was said by the Lord in the midst of the battlefield that warriors standing in front of the Arjuna. So that is all about here. And then individuality is always maintained, even after the annihilation of the present body and even after being liberated from the bondage of material existence. So as we have been seeing so many of these Ekadasi stories, the father is existing and son is existing. Son is carrying out the duty to liberate his father, and father is going towards the heavenly planets. So there are individual souls always exist. In all circumstances, the Lord and living entities are individual personalities. And all beings never abolished. Only the influence of the illusory energy, the reflection of light in the darkness, can, by the mercy of the Lord, be removed. So this is the Jnana Rupena Bhasvata. Whenever, for a devotee, the Lord is always existing in the form of knowledge. And he illuminates the knowledge of the devotee so that he is always protected. So that is the by mercy of the Lord. In the material world, the light of the sun is also not independent, that nor is that of the moon. The real source of light is the Brahma Jyoti. So in the beginning, Sukadeva Goswami describing that Brahma Jyoti is the source for all the living entities and the creation. Of course, beyond that, that is also effulgence of the body of the Supreme Lord, which diffuses light from the transcendental body of the Lord. And the same light is reflected in the varieties of light, the light of the sun, light of the moon, and light of fire, light of electricity, all coming from Brahma Jyoti only. So the identity of the self as being unconnected with the Supreme Lord, the Lord is also illusion and the false claim. This is aham mama yo avagraha aham mameti iti yedasmin yojitastvaya. By the illusory energy of the Lord, I am the Supreme and I am this body. All belongs to me. These are all illusory energy of the Lord. Okay, so that is the last snare of the same Maya or the external energy of the Lord. I am the Supreme. Okay, so likewise Prabhupada is describing. So we shall continue this one in the further tomorrow. Okay, this is Dhrityadham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidhyādatmano māyam yatā bhāso yatā tamaha. Okay, we shall move on to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, so today letter to Brahmananda, June 2nd, 1970, Los Angeles. So can I request any unallocated devotees to read this letter, please? Prabhavati Mataji, are you available to read? Are any devotees, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, would you like me to read?
Yeah, sure, Mataji, please.
Please accept my blessings. I am very much anxious to hear from you in letter. Sometimes when there are many letters, I think, how shall I? But if I do not get letters from you, I become still more discomfortable. So please send me at least a letter at least once a week, and that will give me great pleasure. Normally, I'm anxious to know how different centers are working, and when I get good reports from them, it gives me great solace. I thank you very much for the work that Day Nipun is doing nicely. Gangamuni said that they want to increase the price for printing the pictures one side. There is no need for such arrangements. There is no harm to do it, as you have got it in TLC. I have received the blueprint from Uddhava, and I have already corrected 108 pages and sent it to Boston, and the balance will be sent tomorrow. So there is no anxiety for this. Here, presidents from other centers like Hayagriva, Rupanuga, and Kirtinananda Maharaj are staying in the temple. Kirtinananda Maharaj yesterday played the church organ. We have another meeting this evening with organ playing. Under the park we have constructed. This is very nice. To Japan.
Mataji, we can't hear you, Mataji.
Sorry. So let me peacefully write books. I wanted the help of an editor. In the present Krishna book, everything is done nicely, but there are many mistakes. But on the whole, the work is very nice. So in our books, if our books are regularly printed and the magazines are regularly distributed, and occasionally you visit the centers, that will be a very nice program. So far, possibly of opening centers, it is now definitely ascertained that there will be no difficulty to maintain a center anywhere on the basis of present procedure. The only thing required is that we have to recreate some nice devotees and expand opening of centers. Gargamuni is very much enthusiastic on this point, and he has recently opened another center in San Diego. Rupanuga also informs that there is possibility of opening many other centers. He was recommending Chicago as a very nice place for opening our center. So kindly, you all together help me in these missionary activities and open at least 108 centers. That will satisfy me and complete the publication of Srimad Bhagavatam. May Krishna bless you for long life and engage you in this Krishna conscious movement. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, you wanted to highlight?
So obviously, Srila Prabhupada, he obviously tries to respond to all his letters. Obviously, he receives a lot, and he likes being in communication with devotees because it makes him uncomfortable when they're not. Because he knows his movement is moving on. He knows the devotees are okay, they're engaged. And then there's obviously talking about big book distribution, how he sent some more printing of teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And then just and again about Japan. He wants the books to be printed properly. He wants an editor. He wants to be able to write his books peacefully. He likes the Krishna books, but he does see that there are mistakes. So he's very perfectionist in this regard. And he obviously wants the regular printing of books and magazines, and that he's also he's asking for there to be at least 108 centers, and that's going to really help move the movement forward. And it's really going to actually give him joy as well, because in this way he knows that the propagation of um, the Srimad Bhagavatam, which he said is the most important thing in Bhagavad Gita, and the literatures is the most important wealth that we have. So even if there was like one book of Bhagavad Gita, the world would be saved, because there would be this knowledge that would exist that would help people. So he knows the importance of people not being, the future generations especially, not being completely missing tune with what the purpose of life is. That's it.
Thank you, Mataji. Nicely explained. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees? You wanted to add to this letter, or you wanted to say anything on this? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So Prabhupada is strongly suggesting to open different center publication, as Mataji mentioned. So sometimes we may say that even the temples are burned or destroyed, but still the knowledge which is retained with the devotees, it is eternal. It will spread again. So the Lord is the protector of Dharma. So in all times and circumstances, Prabhupada wanted to distribute these books as much as possible to each and every person, living entity in this world. Then they will come to know that knowledge. Books will save. But temples are there only for the devotees come together and have congregations and they chant and they do devotional service, worshipping the deities and make their mood towards the Lord. But ultimate thing is one has to see the Lord everywhere. That is the topmost position. And so, and the knowledge, uh, the assets of the living entity is tapasya, austerity, and penances, and devotional service that will come. But whatever is materially existed, that will be in due course of time, it will be vanished. The money, wealth, family, relations, house, and everything will be disappears. But only which comes with us is the devotional service, austerities and penance, the knowledge which we have acquired from the scriptures, which is in connection with the Supreme Lord. Okay, for that purpose, Prabhupada wanted to have these centers and distribute books through these centers throughout the world. That is Bhagavata Dharma. Okay, so that is what my takeaway from this letter. Okay, and from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Kirtan evening at 8:30 p.m. And I have shared that for the Saturday's Bhagavad Gita recitation and the occasion of Gita Jayanti today. Due to the time and accommodation of 3 hours for the recitations, we kept it on Saturday and putting in the regular session. So starting at 6:30 p.m. And dear devotees who have not yet confirmed, please confirm to me. And if anyone has got any changes in that schedule which is posted in the group, kindly let me know. Okay, that is from the update side from me. And also yesterday also there was protests were going on, peaceful protest for the support of the Hindus. That also been shared some of the information. Okay, so tomorrow it is similar kind of peaceful protest and support for the Hindus. So we need a peaceful environment so that everyone can progress in their devotional life. That is the main purpose. So that is also connecting to Krishna. So then it has a value. If it is not connected to Krishna, it doesn't have any value, as we have seen there. Yes, in the other verse. Okay, so that is from my update side. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness or any events going on, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, there are no updates, no sharings, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। Have a Krishna conscious day, everyone. Happy Ekadasi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.